What's up, New York and the greater New York City area? This is CMajor. I'm right here with my microphone all warmed up and ready to go. And I can hardly wait to talk with you about today's episode, Piano for Parents, the course overview. We are going to talk with you about the syllabus for the course today. We've written it all down and we have it ready to go. So please join us for today's episode, the Piano for Parents course overview. And leading up to today's episode, we had given you a little bit of a preview on our speaker announcements this week. And what is going to happen for 2019 is that we are going to work more closely with our podcast over on Blog Talk Radio. So we really aim to merge the two podcasts, CMajor Before The Show and the CMajor Radio Show, so that they come together a little bit nicer for you. So the Piano for Parents course overview is our focus for today. And let's just take a look at the syllabus. The class time for the course will be on Saturday evenings. So that's big because remember what we announced back in September? We announced that we were going to bring you the CMajor Before the Show podcast on the weekends. So we moved to the weekends in September, or at least we announced that we were moving to the weekends in September, and we actually started our weekend podcasting in October. So thank you so much for sticking around with us to see what would happen next, but we are going to be moving to Saturday evenings now, so I'm very excited about that. Thank you so much. Now, the Piano for Parents course, just to give you the course overview. This course provides an introduction to playing the piano. After about a year of podcasting, CMajor Porter presents Piano for Parents, a year-long course for parents who are interested in learning some basics of playing piano. We will begin by focusing on chords. The CMajor Before the Show podcast will focus on text notation and chords. The CMajor Radio Show podcast will focus on musical notation and writing down music clearly using bass clefs and treble clefs, staffs, and notes. In the interest of self-teaching, the course will give you an idea of how chords described over a podcast may be broken up between two hands. In the spirit of encouraging you to find a suitable teacher for further instruction, the course will explore ways of appreciating music on a more intimate level. We will keep our focus on chords for this course. Now we're going to go over the course description. This is a year-long course for parents that want to study throughout the year. I know you're very busy, so we wanted to put together something that we thought could take you across the year, but the year is going to go very fast. So this is a year-long course with 4 sets of classes. The first 12 weeks, parents will study the basics of chords. And then at the completion of the first 12 weeks, parents should have an idea of how to apply chords in a sequence. Additionally, the course will encourage dialogue with students and teachers. The focus will be Piano for Parents, which is the name of the course, which aims to spark a dialogue between parents and their children and with teachers, which aims to encourage non-self-teaching interaction with instructors. There will be a week's break in between the course. So for 1 week, you will take a break and then come back for the second set of lessons. And then at the completion of the second set of 12 weeks, parents will apply the skills learned in the first 12 weeks. For classes, parents are encouraged to find a social media group to work together on homework assignments. We will have a total of 4 separate learning blocks, 12 weeks each for the course. And we understand that many parents have jobs which make it impossible to make an effort to listen to podcasting during the week. We hope that by having Saturday evening podcasts that you will be able to tune in. So now I'm going to describe the homework. So parents are encouraged to demonstrate to each other in your social media groups as well as any written homework. We ask that parents try to bring a willingness to work actively as a group and have fun. The homework will appear in CMajor's classroom. It is due the week that it is listed. It will not be graded. If you miss a podcast episode, ask someone who listened for a copy of their notes. You may also download on demand the missed podcast episode. See the CMajor's Classroom blog over at WordPress and visit our page on Facebook for further updates. Grading. This course is not offered for a grade. This course is not part of any institution and is therefore not offered for credit or grading. The purpose of weekly homework is to engage you as a podcast listener. You will not be required to purchase materials, but we will make reference to books, manuscript paper, and where to locate chord examples. Music making and wellness. To try and make the course beneficial to adults beyond just learning about chords, we're also tying in a wellness benefits component. The message is sent to active parents who want to use music making to keep well. By doing this, we hope to improve and expand people's perception of the value and benefits of music and music making. We also aim to increase the number of active music makers of all ages and impact the market for music products and services. We will say more about this throughout the podcast from time to time. Course materials. You are encouraged to have either a notebook, iPad, tablet, or some way to take extensive notes. We encourage the use of technology as needed, including Siri, Alexa, as well as traditional manuscript paper to copy down chords mentioned in the podcast. We will cross-reference materials used for CMajor Before The Show and the CMajor Radio Show. As envisioned, the CMajor Before The Show serves as a precursor to the CMajor Radio Show. We are aligning the shows closely together so that you may continue your learning. If you are at any point struggling or having difficulty with class materials, please be in close contact with the podcast so that we can help you. The course schedule will appear as an outline of week, podcast date, topic, and homework due date. The course materials include the following. We have 2 columns here for books and materials. Al Fosse, the original piano chord finder. Taylor, music theory and practice. Faber, Piano Adventures Practice Time Assignment Book. Manus, Piano Chord Dictionary. Walrus Productions, Piano Chords. Hal Leonard, Easy Play Today Key Stickers. Hal Leonard, The Ultimate Keyboard Chord Chart. And the items: sharpened pencils, staff paper, notebook, tablet or iPad, colored pencils, the really useful piano poster download, pens, mechanical pencils. Other mentionables. Last but not least, I like to mention that the course is a way of giving back. I love to teach chords and piano by chords and by ear. It's fun, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm trying to offer a podcast that is interactive and also explores the need for 21st century pedagogy online. I hope to present a framework for parents on the go who can better converse with their children and talk about piano lessons, and use instructors to help you with the non-self-teaching aspects of music making. Parents will explore chords as a way of playing the piano, use a lens to look more closely at what makes music making as exciting today as it was in the 18th century when the piano was first invented, in the 19th century as so much great piano music was written, the 20th century, and now in the 21st century. And one last thing I want to mention is that if you happen to be getting together in a group to listen to the podcast, we encourage interviews, photographs, slides, computer images, videotapes, or sound recordings associated with Blog Talk Radio and Spreaker platforms. In other words, we may make some suggestions about how to appear on the podcast to share your success stories and to show how fearless you are to admit what works for you when learning to play the piano. So before I say a thank you and to sign off, I know it's a quick podcast, but I really want to just give a course overview this evening before we go heavily into chords. And I appreciate if you did go ahead and do your homework and you found your C, F, and G chords. So we will continue with the sound effects for homework and the applause, the cheers, the laughter, to keep the podcast light and upbeat. And then don't forget to join us over at the CMajor Radio Show for the more heavy side of music making and writing down music clearly. So see us over there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to post a show description shortly after I stop this podcast episode so that you can see us over there, and you will basically hear the same information with maybe a couple of more comments about the writing side of things. But I look forward to working with you, and hopefully this is what you need. I'm hearing so many good things about parents and what they're aiming to do with their children when it comes to music making. here in the greater New York City area is a very exciting place to be, and to see how much effort is going into keeping music making alive at whatever cost. And so everything from students learning to play songs that they hear on YouTube every week is letting me know that you are involved in music making in some way, and not just passively, but actively. So I'll have more to say about that. We will continue our usual shout outs, and we will start up again with the social media polls. So feel free to listen in for those as well, and then to get more focused with chords. So again, if you went ahead and you found your C, F, and G chords, hold on to those. I thought we would get to those today, but we're going to wait. It's important to make sure that you're clear on what the course will entail, and then we'll put those chords to use. I promise we'll put those chords to use next week, because I need you to be comfortable enough playing those so that you can form a sequence with those chords. Now, I did not say this in the syllabus, but I'm going to say it now, that we are not going to focus so much on songs. I'm just a little bit hesitant to do that, because I want to leave room for your creativity, rather than saying you must use these chords to play this song in this order. I think that we can leave a little bit more space for you to explore music as sound, and using chords to do that, and then just developing your own dialogue. I think that's the way to go. So, but I welcome your feedback, because this is for you, and we're putting it together not just for us, but really just as a reaction and a response to what I've been hearing across the year. So thank you so much for continuing to listen. We'll see you next week on the podcast to talk about C, F, and G. I promise we'll bring together parents, students, and teachers for multiple episodes of learning, connecting, and celebrating the best music you can make. Take care. Have a great evening. Thank you again, and I'll see you right here next week on CMajor Before the Show.